The story starts off with our main character, Fudo, who, unlike our previous main characters, not only touches grass, but he's even on a date with an actual real female species. Gotta say, bro is winning in the game of life. While these two lovebirds are busy flirting it up, there's a whole Power Rangers showdown happening right under their noses. We're talking colorful heroes taking down bad guys left and right. But our couple, they're in their own little world doing that cute couple stuff without a care for the lonely losers who's watching the show. Enter cringe Lord Fudo, who drops to one knee like he's about to propose, but instead he hits Desumi with this gem. After extensive research, he have concluded that normal couples are required to engage in hand-holding activities. Desumi's about to reach out when she pulls back faster. They are only in episode 1, and she doesn't want to get pregnant. Fudo hardly explains that it's his third hand that can do the stuff, but he's not giving up that easily. For a hot second, you'd think they were about to do something way more scandalous than just holding hands.
Brad, you okay?
Actually, cringe Lord Fudo is the Red Ranger, leader of the Power Rangers, and Desumi is the villainous Reaper Princess, the leader of some nuts who want to dominate the world. Even though both of their organization are forever enemies with two different philosophy and their teammates are fighting a bloody battle to death, the Red Ranger just wants to clap the villainous. Blue Ranger, thinking he's witnessing an epic showdown, backs off to let our lovebirds battle it out. And they realize they're actually holding hands, and according to some sketchy article, doing it with your fingers is an expert move. But before all that, cringe Lord Fudo was working up a sweat when Pink Ranger, Haru, swings by with a towel reminding him about their meeting. Meanwhile, Blue Ranger Hayato is out here living his best fuckboy life, flirting with anything in a skirt, and with a face that makes you want to punch him. And looks like I wasn't the only one with those thoughts. The Rangers assemble for a briefing about the new big bad. The Reaper Princess Desumi, she's climbed the villain ladder faster than you can say world domination. Right on cue, an emergency pops up, and our colorful crew springs into action. Cut to the city, the baddies and Stripper Princess Reaper Princess, are causing chaos. But then enter the cringe squad, who decide now's the perfect time for a public costume change, even weirder. The villains just stand and watch. Our Rainbow Warriors bust out their special moves on the henchmen, leaving just Bear Dude and Reaper Princess. Bear Dude goes a la OE, while Princess jumps in the air and chucks a massive spike ball. But Red Ranger's not having it, blocking that bad boy like a champ. Cringe Lord sends his squad after Mega Bear while he takes on the princess. They trade kicks and dodges like they're in a dance-off. But before things get too spicy, Bear Dude waves the white flag and calls it quits. Princess, though, can't resist telling Red Ranger she's down for round 2 someday. Cut to Fudo. He is pumping iron like his life depends on it. The commander is all impressed, asking what's got him so motivated. Fudo drops the bomb that he's got a crush, love at first sight. Commander's like, did you tell her? But our boy is all, I can't, I'm a hero, and she's... But the commander smacks him a good one before he finishes the sentence. He's not having it, telling him to quit the cringe act and just confess already. It doesn't matter where she's from, you should go and express your feelings no matter what. Fudo gets motivated and takes the advice, leaving the commander with a proud, happy face, not knowing what he had just done. Fast forward to Cringe Lord's genius plan in an abandoned site. He invited the Villainess, and she has already come to finish their unsettled battle, and prepares to smash his head with her ball. But he's frozen like a deer in headlights. Then he blurts out, I love you. Because you know, every girl dreams of being confessed to by a stranger in red tights at a sketchy location. Cringe Lord keeps the cringe coming, but Reaper Princess isn't buying what he's selling. She's thinking it's all some elaborate scheme he cooked up after finding out she's a newbie in the romance department. Reaper Princess, fed up with the cringe, goes full attack mode. While spilling tea about her flaws, her minions think she's an alien. She chows down on bears and chugs boar blood, and everyone thinks she's a sadistic person who cuts men's for fun. But Fudo denies all that. He knows her favorite foods and drinks, her hometown, and what her hobbies are. Turns out our boy's been doing some serious social media stalking. Fudo hits her with more cringe lines than a bad rom-com before dropping the opposites attract bomb. Somehow, this works on Reaper Princess, aka the cutie from earlier, and finally takes her mask off. She agrees to give this weird romance a shot. Fast forward to the beginning again. Dezumi's showing Fudo a pic of her cat, but oops, she's fresh out of the shower in the background. Fudo goes full cheese, muttering about his heart bursting from happiness. They decide to keep their love under wraps and play enemies in public, but Dezumi's got dreams of a world that'll accept their bizarre romance. Mid Fudo's simping, Mega Mommy Milker's Yellow Ranger crashes the party, making Dezumi serves him a 100-punch combo special, sending him flying back half dead. After making sure her bae is okay, Dezumi bounces, promising to pick up their battle the next time. Back in the past at night, Reaper Princess struts past the henchman and serves Blue Ranger a knuckle sandwich, making the others hesitate to approach. But suddenly it was Fudo versus Dezumi battle, trading blows like they're in a kung fu flick. Fudo launches Dezumi skyward, but she's got tricks up her sleeve, using her spike ball to stick the landing on a tank. She calls Fudo her toughest opponent, while Fudo just stands there not knowing why his heart is beating this fast. At the present, some news reporters giving the play-by-play of the Rangers versus Baddies SmackDown, and of course, Fudo's got dibs on fighting his bae. But the crowd's going wild for Red Ranger, but our boy's too busy playing charades with Dezumi about their next move. They sneak off to a quiet corner for some quality flirting time. Cringe Lord notices Dezumi's keeping her distance, thinking she's finally realized she could do way better. Sadly, she's just worried she's all sweaty and smelly from the fight, but our big simp finds this adorable. Fudo, smooth as sandpaper, tells her he'd stick by her side even if she was ugly, disgusting, and smelly. Romance isn't dead, folks. Seeing she's still stressed, Fudo whips out a camera and starts snapping pics like an overexcited dad at a kid's recital, but Dezumi has had enough and hands over her phone, claiming his can't capture her true essence or whatever, and both proceeded to move closer to take a couple's picture. They're snapping away like influencers when suddenly, Big Mommy Milker's Yellow Ranger crashes the party, not giving Fudo time to react. Desperate about the current situation, he turns to Dezumi in a split second. She's playing the defeated villain, selling it like she's gunning for an Oscar. Yellow tells Fudo there's a reporter itching for an interview. Enter the reporter, asking Fudo about his thoughts on Reaper Princess, and boy, Fudo goes full simp mode, gushing about how amazing Dezumi is, how she's always on his mind, the whole 9 yards. The reporter totally misreads the situation, thinking Fudo's just hyping up his arch nemesis as motivation to level up. Suddenly, the reporter drops the bomb, asking if he got a girlfriend. Fudo is caught like a deer in headlights, but Mommy Yellow swoops in with the save, laughing from her ass at the question. She's all, "This gym bro, nah, he is too busy pumping iron to pump some cheeks." The reporter, sensing her chance, starts talking about the legion of fangirls, herself included, ready to be Fudo's bae. Yellow, feeling a mix of pity and mischief, announces an audition for Fudo's girlfriend to the viewers. After this circus wraps up, Dezumi gives off major not impressed vibes. All these thirsty ladies gunning for her man, not cool. Fudo's trying to smooth things over, but she's not having it, and in a last-ditch effort, he promises to do anything she wants. Dezumi then drops her own request. She wants a real date. It takes our lovesick hero a hot minute to process this, but he's all in once it clicks, making her excited. Only problem? Bro got no clue what people actually do on dates. Evening rolls around, and Fudo's deep in date research mode, feeling like he's cramming for a final. Enter drunk Mommy Yellow, casually draping her mommy milkers over our cringe lord. She's hoping for some spicy browser history, but finds date plans. Fudo spills his dating woes, and Yellow drops some wisdom. It's not rocket science, bro. Just do something you both dig. A huge bombshell dropped, and Fudo felt like he finally unlocked the secrets. The next day, at the park, Fudo's rocking the Clark Kent look, waiting for his Lois Lane. Dezumi then shows up, and Fudo's inner monologue goes full Shakespeare about her cuteness. She clocks his subtle disguise too. Fudo is all, "Don't worry, babe. I've got this date on lock. First stop, a gym." Because of course it is. They're pumping iron like it's going out of style, shocking everyone around them. But wait, there's more. Time for a romantic run. Desumi's a trooper for not bailing right then and there. And finally, it's dinner time. Desumi's thinking, finally, something normal. But nope, Fudo whips out protein bars. This might be Desumi's breaking point. She excuses herself to the bathroom, probably questioning her life choices. Meanwhile, our oblivious gym bro is patting himself on the back for nailing this date. He's already planning their next romantic outing, a medical exhibit, because nothing says love like looking at body parts. Suddenly, Fudo's communicator buzzes, "It's yellow." Now sober and full of regret, she's like, "Forget everything I said. Wear something fancy, not your gym rat gear. No sweaty activities, she's probably dolled up. Take her to a nice restaurant, and for the love of everything that's holy, don't talk about weird stuff." She hangs up, leaving Fudo in panic mode.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
He is freaking out, thinking his gym bro antics scared off Desumi, while searching for her everywhere non-stop, till he finally gives up, realizing that she has already left him. But suddenly, she appears in front of him. Turns out she just went to grab drinks, knowing those protein bars are drier than the Sahara. This girl's a keeper seriously. Fudo then spills the gist about the entire situation. She cracks up, relieved he was as nervous as she was. Then she drops this bomb. "I don't care what we do as long as we're together," leaving bro love-struck. Our boy's in disbelief that he scored such a perfect girl. With all the tension, time slows and their heartbeats rise. They're about to have their rom-com kiss, but suddenly their communicators go off. The Power Rangers were engaged in a battle with the baddies, but these two lovebirds are floating on Cloud 9. Fast forward a bit, we've got the Commander and Yellow highly focusing on a serious matter. It's an epic battle of Uno. It's been a whole 2 weeks since their last showdown with the baddies, which means our boy Fudo's been Desumi deprived for just as long. And he's trying hard to pump some iron instead. What a poor guy. He's going through withdrawal effect. Suddenly the alarm bells. The baddies have cooked up some mystery weapon, and it's infiltration time, so they must send a lone wolf to sneak into the baddies' headquarters. Yellow's all, what type of fools will go on a dangerous mission like this? Blue, green, and pink are living it up on paid time off, leaving just yellow and red, but one has got to stay back as a backup. And Fudo's practically foaming at the mouth for this gig. He's jonesing for a Desumi fix and some quality cringe time. His teammates, bless their hearts, mistake his desperation for heroism. Then he transforms into the Red Ranger and heads out for the mission, leaving behind the commander in tears from this braveness. What a hero. Meanwhile, at the baddies' headquarters, the henchmen are saluting their queen bee, Reaper Desumi. She's radiating bad evil vibes, but plot twist. She's just as Fudo starved as he is. 2 weeks without those sweet cringe lines. That's as torture. Desumi turns to her minions, asking when they'll actually throw down with the Rangers. But these poor saps misread her love thirst as a bloodlust and rage, falling over themselves to apologize for existing. Desumi, still in her funk, keeps walking again, till she runs into Bear Guy. He's flexing his new pews, bragging about how he'll wreck the Rangers. He spots Desumi's bulging bag and thinks she's packing heat too, and walks away spiritless. But this was just makeup and girl stuff. Still walking dejected, suddenly, Cringe Lord materializes from the vent. After Desumi's heart restarts, she hustles into her room. Fudo's ready to unleash 2 weeks worth of cringe, but Desumi's still freaking about the danger. Fudo's all, danger or schmanger, I can't hold it any longer. And the actions they were going to do together was, play some Uno cards.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Back at Ranger headquarters, everyone's worried about Fudo's daring mission and waiting for any update from his side. If only they knew he was busy playing hot cards with the enemy. Suddenly a minion's got a hot tip about an intruder. Desumi, quick as lightning, face plants Fudo and sits on him. She tells the minion she's on top of the situation, literally. The poor minion thinks he's seeing things, so he skedaddles. Desumi checks on our boy, who's in Cloud 9, when suddenly Bear Guy alert. Quick as lightning, she chucks Fudo into the closet and dives in after him, leaving an empty room for the bear. In the closet, both of their bodies were pressed tightly against each other, With no room to move, most people dream scenario. Fudo's fidgeting with something on his nose, while Bear Guy's suspicion grows. Suddenly, Fudo realizes he's been wrestling with Dezumi's mommy milker holder. Embarrassed and mortified, Dezumi unleashes a mighty whack. Fudo goes flying KO Wing Bear Guy, and setting off his new weapon. Boom! The entire hideout goes up in smoke. Meanwhile, Ranger's headquarters is getting reports of the explosion, chalking it up to Fudo's heroic actions. Outside the wreckage, Fudo's apologizing for demolishing her pad. Dezumi's like, no biggie, but she spots a cut on his cheek and patches him up. And of course, Fudo doesn't fail to compliment her pack and mentions how it matches her. He then gives her his number for wireless cringe delivery, and Dezumi's cheeks get red from this. At home, Dezumi was hesitating, and finally musters up the courage to call him. But it's Mama Fudo who answers, making her freeze. When Fudo finally gets on the line, Dezumi's first words, "Buy a smartphone, you dinosaur." At the baddies' headquarters, it's executive meeting time with the big boss. He's all smiles about their steady stream of negative energy. Plot twist: these baddies are harvesting human negativity to power up their monsters. Diabolical, right? The princesses each give their not-so-brilliant advice on how to harvest more negative energies. Dezumi, though, she's low-key pitching date spots, but the boss pretends like he heard nothing. But she keeps her attempts till finally, he loses it asking where she learned this cringe from. Surprisingly, Bear Guy vibes with Dezumi's amusement park idea. It's perfect, unsuspecting victims, tons of kids, and a negativity goldmine. The Supreme Leader's now on board, and it's a go. Meanwhile, our gym bro Fudo is pumping iron while nose deep in smartphones for dummies. Suddenly, a text from Dezumi about their new date spot. The commander's beaming with pride over Fudo's technological leap, but Yellow's in shock that muscle brains join the 21st century. But Fudo, like an old lady who picked up their kid's smartphone, is asking Siri about theme park weather on Sunday, and to no surprise, Siri's useless, but Yellow's milfy senses are tingling something's up, and she's gonna find out. D-Day arrives, and Yellow's there in her masterful disguise, dragging a disapproving but curious Pink along. The baddies are thrown for a loop seeing the Rangers at their secret location. Just as they're about to bail, Reaper Princess crashes the party. Fudo transforms, and the other baddies pop up. Yellow's thinking maybe Pink was right. Fudo's just being his normal weird self, not extra weird. Feeling guilty, they transform and join the fray. To everyone else, Fudo looks like a boss, leading the charge, but in reality, he and Dezumi are low-key planning their secret date while the others duke it out. Post-battle, Dezumi's cuddled up to Fudo, soothing his motion sickness. They're holding hands, gazing into each other's eyes, while all the losers watching this video are thinking, this must be nice. After a while, Dezumi's playing the role of normal high schooler like a pro. She's chatting with her gal pals about boys when one drops the million-dollar question, "Do you have a special someone?" Dezumi's about to spill the tea when they spot Fudo with another girl, our Pink Ranger in disguise. Her friends are all, they look so cute together. But Dezumi's heart shatters faster than you can say misunderstanding, and she bolts with waterworks in full effect. Meanwhile, turns out Pink's the one who invited Fudo for tea. She's got the tea all right, a theme park snapshot of Fudo and Dezumi looking cozy. She's dying to know what's up, but too shy to ask outright about Fudo's love life. Jimbro Fudo, bless his heart, nods like he's cracked the Da Vinci Code. His solution? Protein powder and a muscle book, saying she doesn't need to be worried about being a tiny weak ranger, because obviously, gains solve everything. Pink tries to steer the convo back to the pic, but Fudo's off on a tangent about how the book's got pictures for the reading a verse. As Fudo rambles on about proper squat form and protein intake, Pink has an epiphany. Of course this Jimbro couldn't possibly have a girlfriend, and replies with yes, that's what she wanted to ask about. Suddenly, it's baddie o'clock. At an abandoned factory, the baddies are all gathered with the bear guy who's using his new gun to spread destruction. The Rangers show up, ready for their dance-off, battle. Reaper Princess leads the charge, and Fudo thinks it's the perfect time for some sweet talk, but nope, Dezumi introduces her foot to his face. Fudo, dense as ever, figures his timing's just off, He tries more of their secret signals, but Dezumi's giving him the cold shoulder and introduces her metal ball to his face this time, sensing the tension. He suggests a change of scenery. Dezumi's response was applying a new super ultra metal tornado move and heating him into a building romantically. Dezumi approaches, radiating murder vibes, and Fudo is still clueless, tries to drop some cringe lines, but she drops the bomb. "I saw you at the cafe," then drops him, literally. Fudo scrambles to explain, but Dezumi cuts him off. She knows he wouldn't cheat, but thinks Pink's a better match than a villain like her. She's mad at herself for these thoughts, feeling weak, all this while using Fudo as a punching bag. She stops her fist before finishing him, and finally breaks down sobbing. Fudo hesitates at first, then goes for the hug. He unleashes his ultimate cringe weapon. "I may be clumsy, but I'll love you and only you forever." Dezumi, sucker for cheesy lines, finally chills. Post-battle, Fudo releases a little laugh about all this, but Dezumi reminds him that she hasn't forgiven him yet for this after-school date, and makes him promise to take her on an after-school date with their uniform too, and they join hands in a cringe way while smiling. But suddenly,